Okay. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to today's class. Okay. Good evening, Justin. Good evening, Vivian. Good evening, Alaba. Good evening, Alexandra. Good evening, Lovina. Good evening, Osapolo. Good evening, Samuel. Good evening, Adeyemi. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to have everyone back to class once again. Yeah, good evening, Comfort. Good evening, Abraham. Let's have it coming. Yeah, let's have everybody join today's class. Once again, I remain your humble farmer King Timlin Charles, one of the facilitators, and also I bring greetings to you from Bob Zaya. Okay, so while we wait for others to join in today's class, right? How was the, let me call it, weekend, right? We met last week Friday, and we're meeting again today. So can you highlight what you've learned so far? We've done 4 weeks. This is the fifth week into the training. So at this point, I think we should already have badass editors right now. Do you want me to begin to call names before we go into today's class proper? Can someone tell me one of the things we've been able to achieve so far during the course of this program? Okay, welcome, Comfort, welcome, Abraham, welcome, Victor, Joy, Nifemi, Sanita, Shoyemi. Okay. Very big thank you to everyone that is joining today's class again. Yeah, good evening, Olalekon. Yeah, you're welcome, Mide. So I asked for an update from our end. This is week 4 of the training, and I'm saying, can someone tell me what they've been able to do so far? Has anybody here been able to publish or produce anything successfully in editing? The next 2 minutes also, this is where I would confirm the people who have practiced over the weekend and before today's class. If you, while practicing, you encountered any difficulty or any challenge, can anybody drop it here? Or it's safe for me to believe that we are all on the same page. It's safe for me to believe that we're all good to go with the editing. Okay, so I will take our, okay, thank you so much, Mide. Mide says I was able to split videos, add transitions and sound. At this point, nobody should be having difficulty with their softwares, right? And so as many people who have been able to pay for CapCut to people who are able to also pay for Premiere Pro, a big thumbs up to you all. And to those who are still finding their way around it, okay, Ajibola, please ask your question before we dive into what we have for this week. Okay, thank you so much, Joy. So, Joy, aside from learning it, have you practicalized it? Have you practicalized adding motion graphics to your videos, to your footage? And one of the requirements for today's class also is that by this time you should have your softwares open, right? It's running on either your PC or your phones. Okay. Shemi says, I worked on color correction and keyframing. That's nice. Generally, okay, Oluwaseun says, Adeyemi says, generally I've learned a lot from importation of footages, arrangement of footages, to keyframing in animation and motion graphics, to easing in and easing out. It's been fascinating. Okay, it's fine for you to have learned it. Have you also been able to practicalize it? Okay. Me says I was able to use keyframe to increase my audio. Oh, that's fantastic. That's one of the ways to do that. There are still so many other ways to do that, right? Okay, Lovina, my favorite is extracting audio from videos and the transition. Oh, okay, that's great. So Ajibola, I am yet to get your question. We have just 1 minute to go. Okay, that's beautiful, Adeyemi. We're having issues with exporting. Hmm. Okay, what are the issues in details? Like I said, okay, I think I can remember that Adeyemi is using Premiere Pro, right? But moving forward, once you want to lay a complaint or an issue, right, put in brackets the software you're making use of so we can attend to it as quick as possible. We're not taking attendance yet. We know people that just come and take attendance and go. At this stage of the class, everybody by default already knows the time we take attendance. Okay, Shaya says I enjoy splitting and inserting transitions and effects. Okay, that's nice, and I'm so glad that everyone, we're all learning and we're all growing along this path. So, without any further ado, for today's class, once again, I welcome you to today's class, week 5 of this training. And as we all know, gradually, we are getting to halfway of the training, right? So it is one thing to sacrifice 2 hours, 3 days in a week to come and learn. It is another thing to be able to sacrifice time to practicalize that which you have learned. So I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you don't just okay, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, that you don't just learn and learn, but you also take time to practicalize that which you've learned. Okay, Ajibola, I worked on a short video over the weekend, but I was only able to add motion graphics to the beginning of my slide. I tried to add to others, but it didn't work. Guess I am yet to get something right. Like I rightly said earlier, please, when you're laying a complaint or you have an issue, put in front of it the software you are using for us to be able to address it correctly. Okay, so also on this call with me, we have our second facilitator. We have Bob Zaya here with me. Okay,
Um,
Bob, will you be? Yeah.
yeah. Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to class. Welcome to class, everyone. We're glad to have you here again, and thanks to Farmaking, and thanks for your training so far. Even I myself have been learning one or two things from you.
So just stop that.
All right.
It's already too late. You are going too far.
All right. Yeah. So I'm glad to see that a lot of you are working hard and you're practicing well. Especially, I see Adeyemi Oluwaseun, I see Adeyemi Oluwaseun, and I see some of you patients, Queen Yada. Yeah, I see a lot of you. Adeleke also. I see a lot of you. You guys come, and then I see you practicing. I'm glad that you guys are really pushing it up, and I believe that before the end of these trainings, you'll be able to grasp and be a professional yourself with further training, you watching more tutorials online, and then I believe you will reach that goal that you desire. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll head back. I will give back the podium or the MIC to Farmakin so that we can continue the class with you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. Thank you so much. It's wonderful doing this with you all the time, right? Stop saying you are learning from me. I'm actually learning from you. So okay. Ajibola, I'm trying to go back to your question. And you say you're using CapCut. I worked on a short video over the weekend, but I was only able to add motion graphics at the beginning of my slide. I tried to add to other, but it didn't work. Okay, so please just do me a reminder immediately I bring up, I display my CapCut screen so that I can quickly show you how to do that, right? So you are not to overlay the text on each other, right? You have to arrange them in an horizontal way. So I think that might be the issue you are having. So, but as soon as you see me, as soon as we dive into CapCut later today, please just bring it up and ensure that it is being addressed. Okay, Adeyemi says, I was working on two video clips. I was having little issue applying effects on both audio and video. It was saying it will overwrite the existing one. It was an edited footage. If I'm to get you right, the first, what brought us to this part was about exporting, right? So it means you've exported it at first, then you are trying to re-export. So probably the issue might be with the naming because you are still using the same name. You need to change the name of your output. That is, if I get your question right, you need to change the name of your output. If it is the same name with what you exported the last time, it will give you this prompt of overwriting the file while exporting. Okay, so everyone, once again, you're welcome to class. And today we will be looking at creating dynamic titles and lower thirds. So I am trying to remember this particular movie. I think it is King of Thieves. Yeah, Kole, or I can't really remember it. When you see the intro, the naming of that particular movie, you see a lot of 3D animations that were done from modeling the character himself into 3D to the texting and everything to structuring to texturizing. You see how wonderful it helped in the storytelling, right? And also one question I want to ask is how many of us, when you watch a movie, you watch the parts where the casting and the crew members details are shown, are being displayed. One beautiful thing also about Netflix, because of users, right? One of the things they incorporated is that you can skip the intro of a movie, so you don't have to see all of their intro making. You just go straight into the movie. But I would advise that, okay, Chioma says sometimes, Joy says not exactly, except I'm looking for something. Okay, so I'm encouraging us now, right? Moving forward, you're beginning to see these things. When you see a movie, you are not just seeing it for the entertainment aspect, you are also beginning to see it from an editor's aspect, right? So you begin to pay attention to every details. So today we'll be talking about creating dynamic titles and lower thirds. So if you see my screen now, you can see different titles and different lower thirds, right? And a best way to quickly remind you of lower thirds is when you're watching the news, for example. And okay, I think a lower third can be introduced on this live feed, but I have to leave and come back. But let's not do that. Let's just go straight into what we're talking about. So when they are casting the news and you see AIT logo comes out with either a shape and says this is Bob Zaya, and right under it it is written video editor facilitator. You get, those are lower thirds, right? We're still going to explain in details, right? Okay, so this week and today's class, the training will guide you through creating captivating titles and lower thirds that enhance your video storytelling and professionalism. By mastering these tools, you will elevate your editing skills and produce visually engaging content that stands out. How many of us are ready to embark on this journey to transform your video with dynamic text elements? A lot of us would have seen it on Premiere Pro, you'll have seen it on CapCut if you've been familiarizing yourself with it. So, title, like you say, is title. Title introduce the video, right? Or the section with style and clarity. There is no one way to how a title is to be or how it should be, right? It just has to be a title. Sometimes you see some titles and you see probably in the movie, right? They now want to tell you 20 years later, right? Some people have it on a blank screen and just write the text, type in, right? With the sound effect of something typing. You just see 20 years later. Or the very popular one on Instagram, right? You just hear few moments later. right? Everybody must have come across that particular thing on Instagram where someone makes a post and there's a few moments later, right? That's an example of a title. The goal is to grasp viewers' attention and set the tone for the content. Next thing you just hear is this world is so wicked. Like something like that, right? Something that just help you to tell the tone of the content that helps your viewers. So effective titles use appealing fonts, colors, and positioning to complement the video's theme, right? I don't know how many of us have seen Professor Deli Part 3 that just came out on Sunday. And you see, the movie was shot both in Nigeria and in Kenya. When they come back to Nigeria, when the next scene is going to show Nigeria, you'll just see Nigeria typed. If it was another editor that was editing that particular video, it can make it bold in the middle. It can bring in Nigerian flag. It can be a transition of flag into the scene, right? There is no, it's not, title is not a one-way method, right? It is your ability to be creative. It helps in your storytelling. So now we come to lower thirds, right? The name implies, lower thirds, right? Lower thirds are graphics overlaid placed at the bottom of the screen to provide context such as speaker's name, location, or additional info without distracting from the visuals, right? So I think that was what the editor was trying to do in that movie, right? He didn't want to distract us too much that they were back to Nigeria. So instead of having the country as a title, as another, please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. Sorry about that. So instead of having, please confirm you can hear me clearly now. Okay, thank you so much. So to them, instead of having to really take our attention away from that, what they just did basically or practically was just, okay, let's just have a time, right? If it was to be, let's say, a midday praise, right, that was editing that scene, God knows how she would do her own, right? So that's the beautiful thing about creativity. But you must always understand the purpose, right? It must pass the right information, right, without distracting people from the video. So even when you're watching the TV, for example, after this class, you sit back to watch channels, the news by 10, right? While you're watching the news. And so to those of us who are also into broadcasting, who are familiar with Easy Worship and Free Show and the likes, those broadcasting software, there's what we call nursery. I'm trying to remember right now. Nursery display. I can't remember what it's called, but you just see the informations that keep on going, right? Sports, news, weather forecast, little update like that, scrolling through the bottom of the video, right? Those are kinds of lower thoughts. They are not to distract people from the main thing, but they are also passing the message. Exactly. Oh, thank you so much, Irao. Alert. Yeah, nursery alert. So that was thank you so much, Ajibola also. So nursery alert, right? So that is it basically. They must not distract your viewers, right? They must not distract your viewers. I repeat that once again. So as usual, firstly we'll deal with Premiere Pro, right? Then Today we're dealing with Premiere Pro first, then we'll go to CapCut, right? The last time we did CapCut first, then we went to Premiere Pro. So it will be the reversed way today. And at this point, for our Premiere Pro users, you must have been familiar with the essential graphics panel, right? Effect control and the motion panel. Motion panel is the effects panel where we dealt with last week. That was where we talked about the keyframings and every other things also in the effects panel. So this is where, and for Premiere Pro, there are some inbuilt titles and inbuilt um, lower thirds that comes with the software by default. Exactly, like news headlines before the visuals. Exactly, right? So now for Premiere Pro, there are some that come directly with your software, with your installation files, and you can make use of them freely. Otherwise, there are a lot you can download. um I would have the admin paste, just a minute please. Yeah, okay. So I would have the admin paste a link of where we can get some of these. So for those of us making use of Premiere Pro, there are some places you can download most of these motion graphics templates, right? Both the lower thirds, the title, right? All you just have to do is just go there, change the name, change the color to how it works best for you. So then one of these days we'll practicalize how we would download a sample, then we would open it up, in our Premiere Pro and do the editing, see how we can change the color, see how we can change the text and things around. Okay. Prince says, if you are translating a movie in English, is it also a lower third? No, it is caption. Caption is different from lower thirds, right? So um, on CapCut, you can automatically generate your caption, and also on Premiere Pro, you can automatically generate your captions. And if you cannot automatically generate it because these features are pro, you can go through the stress of typing it in yourself, and you know what that means. So there are so many ways captioning can be done. Some other people, they export their videos out of either of the softwares they are making use of. There's a caption site, download the caption file, upload it back on Premiere Pro, sync it, and you're good to go. So for everything you want to do on Premiere Pro especially, there are 1001 ways. There's always another way to get it done. Sorry, my network went off now, but please confirm I am still in. I don't know if anybody can. Okay, okay, thank you so much, Bob. So I'll run us through the steps so that once we get into the software, it won't be difficult for us to run with. So for Premiere Pro, these are the step-by-step for title creation. Open the essential graphics, choose from template or create a new title layout for custom design. Customize the text, animate with effects. And I think we treated this animate with effect already last week. Use your fence control to add motion. moving from top down, make it reduce the opacity and so, then adjust with motion, fine tune the position and scale for perfect on screen. So without any further ado, I hope we are still following. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who said we're still in. Okay. Okay. So without any, okay, Premiere Pro, animating titles. It's still the same thing. The concept of that keyframing that we explained, I believe animating anything, I say it categorically, animating anything on Premiere Pro would not be a problem for you, right? Because, like we rightly said, animation is just movement, making movement. And unlike After Effects, where if this were to be an After Effects class, we will also now begin to talk about movement on the x axis. So, once you familiarize yourself with keyframing, right, it helps you to be able to move across. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So, in the next few minutes before we take our attendance, we'll be going live straight into my screen, and it's good that every one of us that are making use of Premiere Pro. Okay, sorry about the background noise. Please confirm I am clear right now. Okay, so the same way you animate anything on Premiere Pro, right? It's the same way we animate lower thirds, the same way we animate our footage, the same way we animate our titles, same way we animate our audio, right? I believe we all know that you can animate your audio, right? So please, admin, let's go to my screen. Okay, so I believe by now everybody should be seeing my screen. And like I rightly said, please do not be how do I put it now? Do not be scared, right? If you cannot find a particular effect, right? And my workspace doesn't have to look like your workspace directly. I know in the last class there was a particular student that helped us out, right? Someone was using a lower version and could not locate the particular thing where I said it was to be located, but someone helped us out with it. So for Adobe, the more they are updating, the more there are a lot of arrangements alongside their workspace. So now, first thing we said, you locate what's your graphics templates. So if you don't have your graphics templates located there, so like I rightly said, and myself and Bob, this workspace, right? This is my workspace. I have a lot of workspace here, right? That I already channeled to what I want to do part time, right? If I'm working on reels, I know how my workspace will look like. If I'm coloring, if I'm adding effects, if it's a production stage. So I already have those layouts set up on my system already. Oh, why is it not showing? I'm seeing my feedback and I'm seeing what I'm clicking is not showing. Okay, Windows and some securities. Okay, so but if you click on Windows, right, you will see a drop down. You'll see workspace, extensions, and all of that, right? So I'm going to be changing my workspace to fit in for what we are doing today. And I'm going to be changing it to caption and graphics. So you will see the changes right now. So now let me make the graphics aspect bigger so we can all see what I am saying. So to our Premiere Pro users, please confirm that you've been able to locate the graphics template panel. Please confirm that. Oh wow, Bob, thank you so much for that. Um, okay, so it's just a minute, everyone. I will stop sharing my screen and I'll share back. Okay, so I'm back. Admin, please can we? Okay, so I was clicking on Windows exactly. Can you see that I'm learning from my co-facilitator big time? I've been clicking this now and I saw that it wasn't showing up and it just told me what to do. Thank you so much, Mr. Bob Zaya, for this. So once you click on Windows, right, my workspace, I have a lot of workspaces here, right? So I am able to define my workspace based on what I am doing part time, right? If I am working on a reel, I convert my workspace to vertical. If I'm working on colors, I take it to color. If I'm just editing, which is first cut, second cut, right? I've not started any effect, right? I have a workspace for that. So everybody can create a workspace for what you want to do part time. It makes it easier for you. So I am moving my workspace to graphics and caption, right? Because this is how I want it to look like when I'm doing my graphics and caption. So I want to be able to see the graphics at a go, right? Because this is what is paramount to me at this time. Okay, so this is an example of a title. These are there are so many titles here, so many titles, so many titles. Okay, so sorry for that. So you can see there are so many titles, so many intros. So let us bring this to my field, right? You click on the title you want, click on the title you want. Yours is showing
Um,
just caption.
Famakin, can I quickly say something?
Okay, okay, sure, right on.
Yeah. All right. So if you are seeing the caption, the title panel that Famakin is showing you guys now, you will see that. No, keep his screen on, please. Keep his screen on. All right. If you are seeing the screen Famakin is sharing us now, you will realize that some of you probably you will not be seeing the titles, the motion graphics that is showing you on your own version. So depending on the version that you will have some of these presets on your own Premiere Pro version. So depending on the version that on, you have on, but then it's still going to show you how to create some of this thing yourself rather than you using the templates that on Premiere Pro. Can we keep the screen on? Can we share back Farmer King's screen? All right. Okay. Thank you. So some of these
Yeah.
motion graphics templates that you are seeing by the right hand side, yeah, you might not see it on your own Premiere Pro. So depending on the Premiere Pro, as I said, depending on the Premiere Pro version you are having, that's what you will have. But then all these things you can create yourself, you can animate it yourself. And then there are also websites that you can download some of these some free versions of these motion graphics templates. There are websites that you can download them from. There are a few websites like if you go on search for Mix Kit, you can see a lot of free versions, free templates there. That's Mixkit, Mixkit.
Yeah, the admin has posted the link, the list you
Okay, the
sent. Yes,
alumni have shared it with them, right?
yes.
All right, so just go there. You can search and download the ones that you can preferably use, and then all you have to do is just import them into. I'm sure Farmakin will still show us how to do that, how to import some of these templates that you probably download in one way or the other, and then
Okay,
move from there.
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that. So, um, please, if you go through the chat, we've pasted the links where you can download some of the templates as recommended, and the admin says it has been posted on your squad groups also, right? So now, for those of us who are seeing caption and graphics together, right? They are two separate entities, right? Locate your graphics templates, right? Now, like Bob has rightly said, I'm going to show us this template and I'm going to show us how to create our own in particular, right? So, for example, now I've taken a template, right? And once I play it through, you'll see my screen and you see how it displays. I really don't think it's so bold, right? So let's create a shape. I believe we can all create a shape at this point, right? So I'm creating a plain box shape. One of the greatest limitations I have. while designing is screen size, right? You want to have a very big screen size so you can do a lot of movement around. So that's why you see video editors workspace, you are seeing a lot of screen. So I've created this shape. Let's use the opportunity to just learn how to do some things on this particular shape. So I want to change the color. Once you come to your effects control, right, you see graphics, then you see the shape. Click on the drop down, you see the appearance, right? I'm changing the color. The color of this, the brand color is green, so we stick to green. Stroke, I don't want stroke. I don't like outlines. If you want your shape to have shadow, right, then you see where we can also animate this shape, right, using keyframing. So I'll do that quickly so that we can all see what we are doing clearly. Now this is aside us making use of templates. Okay, okay. So I want to animate this particular shape in, right? I hope we are all still following. Okay, thank you so much. So I want to animate this shape in, and how do I want it to come? I want it to come from left to right into my footage. So at the beginning of this clip, keyframe, position, right, move it to my left. I'll take it out of the scene totally, totally. Either impute your value here or you can drag it. So I'll move forward 2 frames and I will add another keyframe by dragging it in totally. So once I press play on my screen, you see how the shape comes in, right? So this is video editing class, right? This is week 5. So you go to your text, we're adding a title. Go to your text, click on your screen, then type video editing week 5. You can style it however you want it to be styled, right? But I think one of the things I know about the brand is their font is a very thick one, right? So sounds like your basic Microsoft details. You should be able to change fonts. So I want to change the font to something. So you can change your font here, right? However you would want it to be. Okay, so let us do milk and honey. I click out. Mm, so I don't like the alignment. I want it to be centered, and it's going to be center aligned on my screen. So after watching this video, right, we're adding an intro or a title, right? Can we all still hear me? So now in my timeline on this same feed, right? Trying to keep up with questions also. I'm seeing your feedbacks. I'm lost. Please, can you do an overview from how you started the graphics, please? Okay, there's nothing difficult, right? I think last week we were able to add text to our footage, so that's the same thing I'm still trying to do, blessing, right? From how you, I, I've shown us how you can go and get the templates from your pre-installed files that come with your package, right? Okay, so I hope blessing got that, right? We'll be around that. Okay, what else? Let me see here. Okay, Oluwayemisi, the Lord be with you. So sorry for that. But you're welcome back to class, and it's nice to have you back once again. Okay, innocent. The green screen does not mean anything right now, right? Green screen has a lot of meaning. But right now, I am only making this screen green because Digital Skillup Africa's color is white and green. That is why the screen, the shape is green. So let us keep it that way for now. So I'll take this off and quickly start again, right? First thing I want to do, I want to draw a shape. Click on your shape from your toolbox, go to your screen and draw your shape, right? So now I have drawn my shape. Next thing I did was I animated my shape, right? So you can remember how I animated my shape. I came to shape, right? I scroll down, I located my transform, I added my keyframe at the beginning, right? And I dragged it out of my feed. If you have the key value, you can use that. I went 2 frames forward and I increased it. So once I play it right now, once I play it, you can see now I have brought in my breaker. Let's call it a breaker, right? Then this is my text layer. And I type once again video editing, right? So all we're doing is, so this is a title, right? You can animate it anyhow you want it to be, right? Come to your text, increase the font size. You can see. Thank you so much, everyone, for your concerns. Thank you so much for everyone's concerns. And please, I would just want us to get back to class. And I believe Oluwayemi sees our love here. It's beyond it's beyond teaching. This is also a family for you. And please, thank you so much, everyone. Please let's move on. And I think that will be okay for now. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, innocent. What is the middle white vertical chord? I don't understand the middle white vertical you're talking about. Drag out. Click on whatever it is you want, then drag it to your timeline. Click on whatever it is you want, then drag it to your timeline. Okay, so let's get back to class. White vertical line. I'm still yet to see the white vertical line you're talking about, though. So I have successfully added this shape and this text, right, as my intro. Right, and one other thing I want to do is, you can see that I animated the shape already, but I have not animated my text. So at the beginning, the kind of animation I want to use for my text is, I don't just want it to show up, right? I want it to fade in, right? So I'll go to my effect control. Once I click on it, locate transform. And what are we looking for? Opacity. At the beginning of the video, I want it to be at 0, and at the middle of the video, I want it to be at 100. Can you see that? 0, then 2 frames forward, 100. So you see, once I play, see the way that happened? I can move my timeline around and we are good to go. Video editing. So once I play, for making a title, comes in video editing. So this is how you can create, right, titles by yourself. So once you've done this, just keep on trying and trying. This is one. Creating another one. And we have another text. Another text that says week 4. I'll make this particular text on another color, probably yellow. Yeah, I think this color contrasts well. We all should be able to see it. So please, to those of us making use of Premiere Pro, please confirm that you are able to do this. So now, how many of us can see what is happening here? I added the text, right, and it did not come on the layer on its own. It came in addition to my shape layer, right? It's not a problem at all. You can also animate it. Please hold on, everyone. Okay, okay, so that is for the title, right? And the same way, this also applies to lower thirds, right? So we create lower thirds smaller, right? So this time around, I'll create another shape. Or no, I can create my lower thirds directly on this lady. Let's call this lady sewing. Let's give her a name, right? Let's give her a name. Let's say she's Sade. I hope there's no Sade on this call. Sade, Sade skip. Yeah, right. So you know how to reduce the size of your font. So why Sade still sewing? So you can see the way I'm doing it. So I'm having my lower third here. And I'm creating another text. Ah, okay. Oluwayemi, Sade was on a lighter mood, but send me well to Sade. So let's give her a company name. Let's give her a company name. Let's say Digital Skillup Africa Enterprise. That's the name of our company. So same thing. I'm going to go to my text. I'm going to change the color, right? Because it's a lower third. One matters the most than the other. I'll reduce the size. Put it under. You can see now, when you see my main footage now, you can see that it has been positioned, right, as my lower third. This is not me working with template now. This is me creating it directly myself, right? So one other thing is, okay, let me see if I have a logo around the corner that we can quickly bring in. Um, Let me quickly see if I can import a logo. Okay, so I just imported this logo. So let me bring it in to my timeline. So let's say this is Sade's company logo, right? You know the way you see it, you see the logo on this side, and you see the name of the person on the other side, and like that, like that. See the difficulty I'm facing because I'm working with a very small screen, so you can see me while I apply my effects. So I'm locking one screen for the other, right? So this is my lower third. Oh, okay. Please just give me 2 minutes, guys. Just give me 2 minutes. Let me show you. Then we'll quickly go for our attendance. Just 2 minutes. So you see this now. Then what do you have to do next? You just animate it the same way you animate each of them. So logo comes in first, company name, Shade, like that. You just rearrange it and you're good to go as a lower third. See that it's not looking so perfect because you've not done a lot of, not you've not made your, not made your, so you see, so that is lower third. I'm not distracting you from the video. Exactly. So that's why you see that. Thank you so much, Chizoba, for that. That's why you see that most of the times, most of these lower thirds, they come with a shape, right? You have like a box shape under that you've created. For example, now if you see the logo, the digital skill of Africa itself, because it has a shape already under it, it's coming out clearer. So these are the things you pay attention to and you see. Thank you so much for the observation. So it's left to you to either create a shape directly under that and attend to it. So once we get back from the break in the next 5 minutes, we would see how we can also make use of templates and edit those templates to fit in for us, and then we'll round up the class with going to CapCut. Thank you so much, everyone. See you in the next 5 minutes. Okay, well, welcome back to class. I can do that too. Oh, well. Okay, so let us quickly wrap up with Premiere Pro, my Premiere Pro families. Yes, I like the way we are interactive with ourselves, right? Blessing, thank you for answering Bright's question. You can get logo from anywhere, right? This doesn't have to be DSA, right? But we would obviously send the logo to you for so that when you export, you would export with it and for training sections. So I believe we've been able to all grasp to this very extent, right? So now moving forward, I want to show us an example of a lower third template. Oh, sorry. Can you see my screen? Oh, sorry. So sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen already. Okay. So this is another clip, right? So when you come to graphics templates, this is template, right? So I just want to show us a sample of a template and how we can edit a template to fit in for you. So I'm looking out for a lower third in the template, right? So this is an example of a lower third. So someone asked a question earlier, right, about having shapes and this thing on that. So I responded. So I just dragged that down the same way you drag, just drag and drop. They are drag and drops. They are what? Drag and drops, right? So okay, so my viewer will be having a little bit of issue. Okay, let me take that out. It's going to drag my timeline. Trying to look for a simple. Okay, yeah, I think I found one. Okay, so I think I found one now. You can see now that this one comes with a shape. So what do we do? How are we able to edit it? Just double click, right? Yours might show you a dialog box, right? Here you have to do your changes or you come to effect. Once you click on it, if you look closely, you see that on this particular footage in my timeline, you can see everything on it, both the shape, the text below and the text above, right? So once you click on the text, the drop down, you see it, you can do everything. We can edit everything that was done here once you understand keyframing perfectly, both the title and the subtitle. So our lady's name is Shade. Shade what? Let us give her, let's say, Or let's say Shade Adu. Yeah. Okay. So let's say Shade Adu, right? Then the title name, we said our company name is T. So this time around, we say the company name is the Incubator Fashion. What's the issue with that Felix is having? Oh, okay, that's with attendance. So Shade Adu, the Incubator Fashion. So now I want to change the shape of the color, right? You can see it. As you click here, I'm changing it to the brand color, which is what? Green. So you see it. So this is how you just do this basically. And once we play the video, we have another lower third showing Shadi Adu, the Incubator Fashion. So that is how you work with this template, right? It's a week-long class, right? There's no rush, right? Today we've gotten familiar with it, and during the week we'll continue to have more practical sections and more of this, and even how to work with templates, right? Where we would download a template during this training, and we would all see how the effect has been done on it. So I believe at this point our Premier Pro students shouldn't be having any issue. And if you have been paying attention to this Premier Pro class, you should be able to replicate the same thing I have done here on your CapCut, right? Because it's still the same thing of adding your text in bold at the center once it's a title, a call out, probably you have a background. There is nothing too technical in it. Right, so the same thing I have done here, I want to confirm, has anybody been able to do it on CapCut without me opening CapCut? Are we still in this class? Sorry about that. I lost my audio. I'll be back in a while, in a minute. Admin, admin. Admin, please confirm you can see it now. Okay, but I think we can still hear me. So let me just let's ride with this. I just want to hope you can hear me clearly, loud and clear. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. So I think before I left, I think my last question was, has anybody been able to replicate what I did on Premiere Pro here on CapCut without me even having to open the software? Because the thing is, the methods are the same, right? It's just the interface that are different. I talked about creating a shape, right? I talked about creating a text. I talked about animating it. So it is the same thing, right? Aside from using the template also that comes with CapCut, right? You should be able to, okay, Vivian says yes, Adeniji says yes. Okay, so it means tonight on CapCut we won't be staying too long, right? So let's just confirm that we all did the right thing and we just move on. So I'm getting. Can you see my screen right now? Right, sharing my screen back. Okay, present share screen. Making use of CapCut Mobile, there shouldn't be any problem at this point. We shouldn't have any issues. So 40, I'm taking it down. So I need, so you see that I'm doing minus 300. It has to come down. So this is it here, right? And same thing I did on CapCut on Premiere Pro rather. I'm going to import what I'm importing the logo that we used to import, right? So I have it on my view. So I drag it also to my timeline, reduce the shape, the size, right? And I drag it down. Shade Taylor, drag it forward. We create another text. Now, someone asked a question earlier that I told you when I open up CapCut, you should ask me, right? Shit, I can't see feedback right now. This is very bad. And Shade's company name is the Incubator Fashion, right? Reduce the font size. Let's do a 6, right? Click out, drag it down, changing the color to whatever it is that looks bright, okay? And bring back my logo without any animation right now. These are just placement, right? So I've placed it properly. Now it's time for us to animate right now. What comes in first? The logo. So after the logo, Shade comes in, then a company name comes in. You see, so even by proper positioning now, you're already getting a little bit of animation. One, two, three. You see it. Yeah, it's not to now talk of when we now add motions to it with keyframing, right? With keyframing, where I can come here and say at this point, this is when the logo should start showing. You see that we can do and undo a whole lot of things with this. And also moving forward, I want to give Shade a breaker, like we did here. So unlike Premiere Pro, where you're able to create a shape, right? I've not seen that feature so far. CapCut, what I see most people do most of the time is they probably go and look for a sticker or look for something that has the shape they want to use, then they blow it up out of proportion, make it very, very big, right? So I'm not able to see any feedback, so I don't even know what anybody's saying right now. Oh, for real shit. Nobody has been hearing me. I don't know what happened at this point. At this point. Okay, please everyone confirm you can hear me quickly. Sweet Holy Spirit. Okay, so quick one. What I've just been saying and talking about it, this is what happens when you don't have a feedback. I need this feedback. Back up. That's why you're posting me. Okay, just a minute, guys. I'm almost up back with my feedback so I can see what's happening on your end while I display my screen. Okay, so what I just talked about generally was, if you've been paying attention to me while I was teaching the other class, right, you would have seen every single thing we talked about. And what I've just done is I've been able to add my text, right? And we learned how to add that last week. Add your text up and down, right? So the person who asked the question of not being able to add text to the next scene, right? So you see, there is a duration for your text, right? Once your text goes, once this duration is elapsed, right? Automatically your text goes out. What you now do again is you add another text on this line, right? So this is Shade Taylor. I'm changing this one to Taylor Shade. So you see what I'm saying. So we started out with this scene that says Shade Taylor. You can see that I've added another text to the next scene that says Taylor Shade. The incubator of showing up also. So I hope Ajibade got that. If you overlay them right like this, if you add your text on top of each other, the way I've added incubator urban fashion here, right, you are going to be having them at one display. And once the timeline is elapsed, it will go out of your footage, right? So what you want to do is when you are adding a text on this place and you want to add a text to the next line, next scene, right, make sure they are both placed horizontally, horizontally. Can you extend the first? Yes, you can extend it, cut it, then edit it, right? You can extend it, cut it, then edit it. So we'll just keep on practicing all of this, and tomorrow also, by Thursday, we'll also get back to this. Please, I'm not getting feedback, so it's double job for me to be talking and coming back to my screen. Yeah, I need to go sort that out. So um please just keep on trying, keep on practicalizing, right? Keep on doing all of this that we've listed out, and trust me, Thursday is going to be another wonderful time again for us to attend to all of these things. But please ensure that you practicalize them more, right? Work well with your key framing animations, right? If you see that this text is not adding, troubleshoot, ask questions on the group, right? You might be lucky. You never can tell if we are on the group and we are seeing your questions. So, and we would continue. I am particular about the video slide. I splitted the videos in bit. The same way you splitted the videos in bits, it's the same way you split your text in bits and you add them on top of each other. And when you play, it goes smoothly, right? So this is a video here. This is another video here, right? So two different videos. So you can see, right? Different videos with different text coming up. I have this particular one we did last week. This is another text coming up. Here you see another text coming up. So I don't, if they are properly arranged horizontally, you are good to go. So thank you so much, guys, for today. I'm having an issue. I really need to attend to on my feedback screen unless today's class will drag more than this. But I hope we've been able to learn. And like I rightly said, this is just the beginning into titles and lower thirds, right? We still have Thursday and Friday to do more and learn more, right? So this is like an anticipation class, right? So we just give you hints and an overview of everything and how it's going to look like. So from my humble self, Farmer Kinua Similar in Charles, and from my co-facilitator, Bob Zaya, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who joined today's class. And we will see you on Thursday. Please and please, I beg of you, ensure you practicalize more, right? You do more. Get your hand dirty. Get your hand dirty. The more you